You can come closer if you want.
All right, here we are. Hello, hello. How is everyone tonight? I hope everyone's doing okay.
We're live.
We are. Welcome, welcome to day 5, which is our last day
Mhm.
for our 5-day intermittent group challenge that we've been doing. We've been doing it since Monday, and this is the final day. So it's 7:30 our time. So you may have already closed your eating window, or maybe it's still open for another hour or so. Between 7 and 9, usually
Yes.
people pretty much start shutting down. So you have a little bit more time, and then after that, that's it.
Well, after that, it's just continues.
Yeah, it just keeps going after that to on a whole nother level. So
That's right.
welcome, welcome. So let's see what we got going on today. We're just checking in with you to see how you're feeling, how it's going. Just thanks for coming these 5 days and really working on yourself. I've definitely spoken to other people offline who either had something going on, they couldn't quite get to the webinar, but there was still fasting. So the success is there, and then maybe someone on Facebook group saying something about their fasting on their Facebook group or whatever. So there's lots of different ways for you to communicate that. So it's really exciting that you're able to get.
I guess some folks couldn't get on because they didn't know they needed to have the YouTube app.
Well, I mean, they still got on. You just can't talk.
Oh, you can't. So they couldn't talk. That's what it was.
Get on and watch.
They couldn't chat. That's what it was.
So whenever we're YouTube live, you need to get a free YouTube account so that you can chat and you can put your comments in and say different things live. But if you don't have a YouTube account, then you can still watch everything. You just can't interact.
Participate.
Yeah. And that's, the YouTube account is free. So just get one so you can interact.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, so for the next time, you'll know that.
Amen.
So, all right. So we've got quite a few things to chat about today. We're going to wrap up the challenge together with just some information about a few more things about the benefits of fasting. And then we'll be talking about several different things like how to go on from here. After you finish this, what do you do? Like, is tomorrow you just wake up and go back to the way everything was before, or what do you do? So that's kind of a little conversation we'll have then too. So let's see, how you feeling today?
Oh, I'm feeling very well.
Pretty good.
I have little carpal tunnel, whatever that is.
Oh.
I never had it before, but it's in my wrist, and I think it's up towards the shoulder. But anyway, I'm working on that. So it's funny too, you said that because I was trying to make a decision because Christmas is here.
Yeah.
And I noticed that anytime something pops up on me, I just go straight to carnivore. And I like the carnivore diet for that because it is a healing diet. And you can heal a lot of stuff when you go into just all meats. But I decided, I decided, no, Barbie, you just don't want to go right now because you're going to be in carnivore at least for 3 months. So I didn't want to disturb that just in case the kids make something in particular that they want me to be part of in particular. Yeah. And you know what's funny about that though? Yeah. They'll put all the right ingredients in it. They really will. Yeah. If they are to make anything, I know it's going to be just the right ingredients. They're not going to just, they're going to use the monk fruit or they're going to use the stevia. So, I mean, it's going to be sweet, but it's going to be healthy sweet. I know they're going to do that. Sure. But still, just, I still didn't want to limit myself at that time. But I'll do it. I'll do it after.
Christmas is coming. So you do have to start prepping yourself mentally for Christmas coming. So whatever that looks like in your home or with friends, or if you travel, whatever that is, it definitely requires some thought as opposed to just winging it. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're trying to change your diet. You're trying to eat healthier. You're fasting. You're doing different things. And so you want to really give yourself a chance with that. So start thinking about what does that look like? Where are you going to be when you're away from home and how you can accommodate yourself in those different ways. Also, just getting the right food. Sometimes you can bring stuff with you. If you're going to someone's house to eat, the family, maybe you can bring some things, a dish, or you can bring some things that you can have in the off time. Like for me, a lot of times when I go to different places, I'll bring pork rinds, right?
All right.
Because
They're
people
crunchy.
will have like chips and dip and stuff like that. And usually the dips are fine, to be honest, depending on, if they're not
especially
sugary.
if they're using sour cream and it's usually
like a spinach dip or a salsa or guacamole or French onion. Now, most of these things they're not sugary, most of them.
Yeah.
So the dips aren't the problem as much as all the chips and all these different things that go on it. So I would bring my own pork rinds, or
that's true.
Sometimes I'll make avocado, guacamole, or things like that. Yeah. So you can kind of plan ahead for some of that, which is what we're thinking about with the holidays coming up. Also, be okay with eating some things at Christmas. Like don't struggle about that. Be okay. I'm not saying just go all in and just put yourself into a sugar coma. No. I'm not saying that. Because too, is after you fasted, the sugar's not the same anymore. So you could eat a little small piece of something and it will taste as if you had a lot, because you kind of reset yourself, right? You might even react to it. Your body might even reject it in some way. So. Yeah. Oh yeah, that reminds me of my cheesecake story. So you may have heard this on the podcast, I don't know. But I had, I like to eat cheesecake. So, go to the Cheesecake Factory or somewhere where it has tons of cheesecake varieties. So anyway, I had been fasting and I'd gotten off sugar and I changed everything around. So I hadn't had cheesecake in a long time. And so someone came over like, hey, I have some cheesecake here, have a bite. I'm thinking, I don't really eat sugar, so, I'm not going to, but it's a new flavor. You should try it. All right. So, there's sort of the 3-fork rule. Have you heard of 3-fork rule? The 3-fork rule? The 3-fork rule. You can have 3 forks of anything and your body's will deal with it. Oh, okay. So number 4 is the killer, right? You can have 3 forks of anything. Like even the most decadent, whatever. 3 forks is like, all right, your body will work it out. I remember that. So the 3-fork rule. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'll have a taste. Like, that's fine. So I take a taste of it. And it was like, what's wrong with this? And she was like, what do you mean? It's delicious. I'm like, this is sour. Uh-oh. And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, is it just me? Okay, hold on. So I take another bite. This tastes like it's no good. Like it's going bad or something. But you got the next. And she said, no, it was totally fine. And then I went and talked to the other people. Is this fine? Is this fine? Everyone's looking at me like, you're the problem. It's totally fine. And so I realized at that point that because my taste buds had changed so much, the cheesecake that I used to love and adore, I no longer even liked it. It didn't even taste good to me. So that was interesting because it helped me in that moment to recognize I'm really not losing out on anything. I don't even like the way it tastes anymore. So no loss. So it's funny how that's all the toxins and the chemicals, and you'd be surprised all those things that are in that cheesecake we never thought of and never looked at, but your body recognizes it now. Oh, this is loud. This is not what I wanted here. Like preservatives and all different things. All the preservatives. And some stuff is freshly made, but still the ingredients wherever they're coming from, if they're not coming from organic or whole sources. It's just a lot of different things. But that was an interesting point, and I want to give that to you because a lot of times when you're thinking, oh, I'm going to have to give up all these things, you feel like you're giving up all these things right now. But once you remove yourself from it, it doesn't feel like you're giving up those things anymore at all. And that's funny because when you recognized how it didn't taste good, hallelujah. Yeah, it just didn't taste good. That was like, but that was a gift. That was wonderful to recognize. And your body said it. Your body told you, protected you. Yep. So it's Christmas. Don't be too, beat up on yourself. Just, enjoy family and food and the memories that you have. Try to make some adjustments. You're going to be more aware. Your eyes are going to be more open. You're going to see things differently. Allow that whole process to happen. This is a whole process and it's okay. So, that's that. And then afterwards, maybe you'll get back on a different fast again and maybe kind of do a little cleaning and detoxing after the holiday, depending on kind of what all you had and whatever. The best way to do that is just fast again. Exactly. Exactly. So how was your 5-day fast overall? If you want to put it in the chat, if there's any Just anything that you felt like this was either 1 to 5. Let's do a fist to 5.
Just a 1 to 5, yeah.
1 to 5. So 1 is I absolutely did not. I just didn't do a good job at all. I gave up 2 days ago, or I don't know what. I just didn't. This
Maybe
didn't work
2
out.
hours.
I don't really know. Or 5, meaning this was great. This was such an amazing experience. I loved it. I learned a lot. So see what you. For me, it was definitely a good fast. I didn't have any pain or problems or issues. My body was very happy with it. I had energy. I felt good. So
and that happens when you get used to your fast anyway. Each time you do a fast, it gets a little bit better.
Yeah.
Until you're just naturally doing it.
Exactly.
I'm just there. So but it took me a while to get there, but I kind of remember way back when.
Yeah.
How I felt each fast. I do know that it did get better.
Yeah.
I do know that because you do have these funny things happening. But when you don't have them anymore, it's like, whoa, look at me.
Exactly.
I just do it now.
So I see a 5 in the chat. 5. Oh, good. You're doing 5.
Amen.
Hello.
Amen.
All right. So what else do we have going on? If you have questions throughout the time, we're going to ask you to go ahead and put them in the chat, and we'll get to them because we might answer them as we're going along.
Yeah.
But if you want to put in the chat to kind of be a placeholder, and then we'll double back through and make sure that we, get to all your questions. So let's see. Tonight we're going to do the fasting benefits. We're going to do how to continue with your momentum, and a special thank you gift we are also going to offer you. So for a quick recap, we talked about fasting to rest your digestion.
Absolutely.
To what else?
Reset all your body systems that are hung out there.
And give your body a chance to heal. These are some of the things. And of course, ketosis, you want to get in ketosis in order for these things to get started.
Yeah.
And
at least 0.5. At least if you can get to at least 0.5, you are in ketosis. Anything above that is just
0.5 to about 3 is sort of
a bonus.
The ketosis. Once you get above 3, it starts being the therapeutic, like the really autophagy healing level and all that. Yeah. So before that, your ketosis is still going to be the process of burning fat instead of burning glucose. And the body will be making ketones, which are amazing for the brain and for the energy. And it helps to release all the fat cells that are being stored so the body can use it for energy. So ketosis is an amazing state to be in. Focus, energy, you don't feel so hungry, all of those things when you're in ketosis. Yeah. So that's that. And then we did talk about a little bit about the keto flu, and that some people, depending on where you started, you could really feel some things. You could feel some discomfort, headaches, gastrointestinal stuff, maybe some muscle aches. And it depends on if you are really a sugar addict or not really.
Right. It does. It depends on how toxic you are.
Yeah.
And everybody's different. But keep in mind the salt. Remember that. That's a great tip to keep
for
in mind.
Energy and to
that's
keep
right. Or a tablespoon of coconut oil or avocado oil or some ghee, or even I don't know if you like butter. I know my sister.
I like butter.
I never knew. Years ago, my sister was very young. She was maybe 6 or 7, and we used to find her behind the stove. This is the way the stove was made. There's a thing in the back.
Anyway, alcove.
She was behind the stove with the butter. She would be eating the butter. She didn't know she was doing a healthy thing.
At the time, they probably were like, "Girl, you're gonna die." What are you
doing?
My
God, why are you eating the butter? But now, oh my God, it's like the healthiest thing you can do. If it's grass fed, but it's healthy.
For sure. So we talked about that with the ketosis, and then we talked about autophagy, which is sort of the next level of ketosis, which is when your body really starts
getting rid of all the old and bringing in the new.
Yes, all the old cells and making new cells and recycling things and healing. A lot of healing goes on in autophagy, and that's for like the longer fast, though. That's not going to be just your 12-hour. That's going to be
if you do anything over 4 or 5 hours, you'll go into
hours.
4 or 5 days. Amen. Thank you. 4 or 5 days, you go from autophagy and then you go into stem cells renewal. So all your stem cells really rev up.
Yes.
Rev up, rev up. So if you have any issues, you're really in a healing mode that by that time, Sure. I use those stem cells that I get. I do that purposely before I go. I get a PR, what is it, PRP? I get a PRP shot. Many years ago, I was told that I had to have 2 knee replacements. So I had bone on bone for many years. And it's so funny because my niece called me one day. She lived in Germany, and she says to me, Auntie, you need to look into the PRP in America because they're doing it here in Germany, and it's working so good, and blah, 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 blah. And I said, oh, okay, sweetie. So, of course, I did that, and I called my doctor that was giving me that cortisone. What is it, cortisone or something? Oh, no. Cortisone is not good, just so you know. Try never to take a cortisone shot. But anyway, the cortisone was what was available at that time, and I know it. And so I said to him, hey, Mark, what do you think about this PRP? And he says, well, they're just doing that experiment, PRP experiment, and we got it here, but we only have it in the elbow and the elbow and maybe the shoulder, but not just a few things, the elbow and the shoulder, I think. So I just looked at him just with my merrily eyes twinkling, and I said, yeah, but Mark, well, what do you think about, I could be the experiment on me. Let's do knees. And he's looking, because, he's a sports doctor. So, I said, please, let's do knees. Mark, please, can we do knees? I'm okay with that. And he says, I guess he thought about it. It did make sense. I don't see why not.
Yeah.
So now we did knees. So what I found out was they take your blood and they use your stem cells that are in your blood, and they separate it and they put it back in to your knees.
Okay.
So it can do whatever it does. So when I started thinking about that, stem cells, well, I'm much older now, so I'm sure I'm getting less stem cells. Why don't I make some? My body makes them.
Right.
All I gotta do is fast for 5 days.
Exactly.
So I said, okay. So my appointments, I only do it once a year. My appointments are always right at the first or second day after my 5-day fast.
Exactly.
Or my 6-day fast. Actually, I do 6 now. But just so you know, the stem cells are really revving up.
Yeah.
So I want to get them. And so I do it then, So the stem cells are amazing. So
That's great. That's good. That's how you get your body to work
heal,
for you, instead of you getting outside things, exogenous things put in. You can just use what your body is already doing, because then you don't have to worry about some of the exogenous things, supplements. They don't always match with your body. You know what I mean? But if it's your body making it, it's just right there.
Right.
So that's great.
So it's cool.
So that's one of the benefits. We were going to talk about benefits. Autophagy. One of the benefits of autophagy is stem cell, making more stem cells, and that's as you get further and further into it. So that's why we're doing the intermittent fast, because that's the foundational fast, sort of the jumping off point.
That's right.
To start doing other different types of fasting variation, and longer and shorter, and all these different things. And that's one of the ways to get started. So that's why we want to get you guys a nice firm foundation in intermittent fasting. And maybe one day in the future, we'll do like a group fast together of water fasting or some other kind of fast. That would be fun.
Yeah.
All right. So the few of the whys. So we had always talked about, why are you fasting? What are you trying to get out of it? And you were saying stem cells. But there's so many things you can get out of it, like diabetes, management, maybe controlling some diabetes.
Oh, absolutely.
Or
without a doubt.
aging healthily, maybe preventing a lot of diseases that could start getting to you, because over the years your toxins build up, your health starts to be attacked more and more and more, and the weight of oxidation and damage in old cells, all of that stuff, it just accumulates. And so you end up older and kind of sicker, but it's not because you have to be older and sicker. It's because if you don't do anything, it's just going to keep going in that direction. So we're here to try to like intervene and do something to knock off that pathway and get us into a healthful pathway. So fasting will help with that. Another way,
especially inflammation.
Yeah, another why could be inflammation.
Because inflammation is the key to everything.
Yes. So
every single thing that goes on in your body is from inflammation.
Yes.
So
yes, Miss Extreme.
I know I'm so
just
dramatic.
Yes. So inflammation, yes, that's a thing. A lot of people have pain, arthritis, asthma, joint aches, all kinds of problems, autoimmune, a lot of things, inflammation.
Yeah.
But if you can get control of your inflammation, a lot of these symptoms will diminish, and then some of the conditions will just heal themselves with the fasting over time. So that might be somebody's why. You know, I got a lot of joint pain, old injuries. I want to deal with those. It could also be weight. Like I want to get my weight under control. I want a long-term solution to maintain a nice, healthy weight. Yeah. Not like always on this diet where I'm up and down trying to deal with my weight, but more like an ongoing way of being that is sustainable. It's not torturous. It's not, you know, bare knuckling it. It's none of that. It's a way of living that's very, very comfortable. It's very satisfying and it's very helpful.
You know, so you brought something to my attention too. What? People don't realize, or some people don't realize that if the scale doesn't say a certain thing, even though they're fasting.
Yeah.
They know they're fasting. They know they're in ketosis at least at some points.
Yeah.
They're in ketosis. That means they're fat burning. Believe it or not, the scale may not say it.
Yeah.
But your clothes say it. Because what it's doing is it's working on the fat. The fat burning is happening and you're getting smaller. And so be aware of that also. You may not see it, the number. Yeah, you may not see the number on the scale at that time because eventually it's going to happen.
Yeah.
The numbers are going to go down eventually as you get healthier. And you just want to look at, but gee, Mike, I haven't lost 1 pound. What's going on?
Yeah.
But you know what, Mike? This fits really good.
Yeah.
Wow. Or you feel different, or you're moving different, or whatever. That's what's happening. It's something is always happening under the surface. You know what I mean? So
and again, everyone is different. So the way your body, so when we all start at the starting line, like, hey, we're going to start getting healthy, and we're all at the starting line, lined up.
Yeah.
We're not all created equal. So yes, under God we are. But in this regard, you know, where you came to the race, what is the baggage you brought with you to the race? Right. Where are you at today metabolically? What is your health looking like today?
That's right.
How much excess weight? What is your blood pressure, your glucose? Like, how is that being managed? How are your hormones? Blah, 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 blah. So depending on what those are, your body, when you start fasting, it's going to start dealing with different issues. So, for example, I might start fasting and my body instantly sheds 10 pounds. Someone next to me might start fasting and their body instantly goes for the visceral fat around their middle to protect their organs. Or maybe in their mind, their well-being, maybe they're anxious and they have a lot of cortisol. So your fasting is starting to go into there to try to realize that issue. So everybody's kind of dealing with what you might have oxidation inside that you don't even know. So the body's doing all this inside work that you don't see because it needs to deal with that first. It's what it's going to prioritize, what is going to keep it alive. And how you look on the outside is not necessarily the priority. The priority is what's going on in the systems and the processes in the body. And the body knows. It's smart enough to know what do I need to work on first, and it will work on that first. So don't, like you said, don't, think, oh, so-and-so did this. Don't compare yourself. Just keep letting your body do what your body needs for what you need right now. So those are some of your whys. Also, there is definitely a mental health piece, especially now. I mean, after COVID, a lot of mental health things came to the forefront. Yeah. And anxiety, depression, and just a lot of sort of imbalances. And that could be hormonal. It could be imbalances based on just emotional ups and downs that you're feeling, that are, things happening around
Yep.
you, old baggage that you've stuffed. I mean, there's so many, could be a health thing that's triggering all these things. But the point is, when you balance yourself through fasting, you find this homeostasis, which is like the harmony of your whole body working together as it should. When something's off, one level's too like high and something's carrying the weight of something else, before you know it, the whole system is just wacky.
Yeah.
And so you're not able to find that peace of mind, that well-being, that relaxation in your mind. You're feeling so many things. And so fasting actually helps with a lot of that mental health piece. So that's another thing that might be somebody's why, to kind of relax all the anxiety or the depression or different things like that. And the last one is healing, obviously. So healing autoimmune, chronic conditions, even cancer, what is it? My family has a history of cancer. And so you're thinking, because of that, I'm
the relationship with the
like
whatever your
DNA
generation
and,
and all that,
right?
yeah.
So all of these healthy healing things will help you to have a better track. So fasting is really, 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 it just has so many benefits. So today we're going to talk a little bit more about hormones. So one of them, one benefit of fasting, intermittent fasting, and then even longer fasting.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll say intermittent fasting is where you start. So whatever benefits you get from intermittent fasting is sort of the beginning of a much bigger benefit. So the longer you fast, the more often and the more your fasting muscles expand. These same benefits, they just get better and more and better and more. So the hormone balancing is a huge deal if you're either in menopause or you have some kind of sickness that throws your hormones off. You're stressed. If you have chronic stress, chronic stress will eat you up from the inside out. Your hormones, receptors, everything will be tore up. So fasting helps to regulate your hormones. And there's been studies about testosterone in particular, how you could fast, just one short period of time, and the 2- and 3-fold and 4-fold of testosterone is crazy. The studies are, they're crazy how you can get so much testosterone from fasting. And women need that too, not just men.
That's
just saying, to balance us off.
True. Yep.
And then menopause. So it helps with all that hormonal imbalance. It's funny because a lot of that stuff, those symptoms you get, your PMS and all these menopausal symptoms, a lot of that stuff can be alleviated. A lot of it is because of the way we eat, and that we've been eating that way for so long that it exacerbates what's already there. So you're already going to have some hormonal changes. It's nature, it's biological. But how your body deals with that has to do with a lot of things: your environment, your toxin load, what you eat, all of that. So this helps a lot.
And it doesn't, and a lot of people think, well, my mom had it, my grandmother had it, or somebody in the family had it, so I'm predisposed to have it. I'm going to have it too. That's not true. You don't have to have anything that your ancestors had. The only reason you have them is because you're doing the same thing they did.
Right.
It just happens. I'm sure my great-grandmother probably was healthier than my grandmother. My mother, because she came into the world when she did, by the time I came into the world, the sad diet came into the world. I'm going to do it. It's going to be different for me. My diet's much different than even my mother.
Oh, for sure.
But you don't have to repeat all that. People say, well, you have to, you're going to have it anyway. No, you're not. Everybody in my family, I'm serious, almost every single person in my family is diabetic. I'm talking on my side of the family is diabetic. They all take insulin. They either died from it or they still have it. Everybody.
Right.
So I had diabetes. So because I had diabetes, I thought, well, they have it.
Exactly.
I guess I was going to have it. Doggone it. Why did I have to have diabetes? Why did they have to have it? Because it was almost like I had to have it because they have it.
Right.
Forget it. Diabetes is a processed food disease.
Yes, it is.
That's it.
Yes.
When I realized that, it was gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Stop doing what you're doing and watch what happens.
Yeah. But two is, don't think, and again, don't compare to other people, because how broken the inside is kind of how long it takes to clean it up.
It doesn't matter how long.
Diabetes is one of those
Mhm.
that actually can clean up pretty quickly, to be honest. And studies have shown that it can be cleaned up pretty quickly.
Mhm.
But your quick may not be someone else's quick. So it may take 3 to 4 months,
Yep.
5 months.
Yep.
It might take someone 2 months,
Yep.
might take someone 1 month, depending on sort of how diabetic were you? Were you pre-diabetic? Was it for a long time? So your insulin receptors are damaged so bad they need to be rehealed. So, but the point is, you can go in that direction, and it's really very doable. So that's actually one of the hormones is insulin. When we talk about hormone balancing, insulin is one of them, and cortisol, and even human growth hormone.
That's
all
true,
of those things come into play when you're fasting, and so it's really just
amazing.
It's amazing, yeah.
It really is amazing.
Yeah, it is. All right, so then so that's another benefit was we kind of cut into the feeling of well-being and with the mental health and how the toxins are being cleared out when you fast. A lot of toxins are being cleared out of your body over time. So as you fast regularly, you're cleaning these toxins. And that's what's helping you to start to feel a sense of well-being. One of the things that's helping you with your feeling of well-being.
And that will be for a lot of years.
Yeah.
You'll be doing that for a lot of years, and that's okay because you're still going forward.
Yeah.
I mean, you're changing and you're getting more healthy and you're eating cleaner, and it's going to take a long time. So who cares? You're going forward to it. You're going towards that way. Yeah. What's the
Yeah. And so when you're not eating as much because you're fasting, all the time you're fasting, you're giving your body large blocks of time not to have to digest. Digesting is a very, very energy intensive activity. It takes a lot of energy to digest. And so when you're not doing that, your body has this surplus of energy and time to do other processes. The lymphatic system can kick in and start doing all it does with the immunity.
And that means your sinuses start clearing up and
draining.
And
all of these things have time to happen that didn't have time when you were so busy eating all the time. But also too is when you're fasting, you start losing the sugar addiction and the carb addiction, which is huge because when you don't have that addiction, the urgency is not there anymore. There's no urgency to eat. Like, I have to eat. That urgency is gone because there's not that call of the, the sugar and the carbs are calling you like an addict. That's not there because you're fasting and you're removing yourself bit by bit from that. And the longer you go, you starve out that whole glucose and that whole cycle of sugar and carb. What a different place you're in.
Absolutely.
What a different place.
And you don't feel like you're going to die.
Right.
I mean, that was a biggie for me when I felt like I didn't eat.
I know.
I thought the body would die if you don't
really
eat.
Bad what's going to happen. Really bad.
My God. I mean, you'd be surprised how psychologically.
Yeah. I won't be surprised by that.
It's like, are you kidding me?
And so by not having that urgency around food, your body can settle. The anxiety can settle. The cortisol levels can settle. Your body can just start to reduce all of those feelings of angst and even the depressions, all of these, because you start balancing things. It just goes to a whole nother level, guys. It's really
does
beyond, it's a lot. So that's that. And then we talked about insulin a little bit, reducing insulin, which is huge for fasting.
Yeah.
Because insulin and food go together.
Hello.
If you're not eating, guys, there's no insulin. No need for it. Insulin's job is to push the food into the cell where the glucose, push it in so the glucose can be dealt with inside the cell. There's no glucose to push in the cell. You don't need it. So
And you know
insulin's
what?
not going to be released unless you have a dysregulation.
And what's so beautiful about it not happening like that is when you're fasting, remember now, the autophagy.
Yeah.
The autophagy. Now remember, the cells are all inflamed.
Yeah.
There's no hormones going in there.
And the receptors are broken.
All of it is broken.
Right.
So you're just there.
Yeah.
Whatever. Nothing's working inside you. So when those go away and those cells renew themselves, they're vibrant. It's a whole different ball game. As long as you're not
sensitive to insulin.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I always found it so ironic that you would have diabetes, right? Which is the greatest, the highest level of insulin resistance. So it goes like this. It goes pre-diabetes.
Yep.
I'm sorry. It goes insulin resistance.
Yeah.
Pre-diabetes, diabetes. Right. So you've already had a chance where you were resisting insulin. Your body was pushing. It wasn't accepting it. Right. The cells weren't accepting it.
No.
Right. Then you went from there because it wasn't. The glucose was staying in the blood.
That's right.
It wasn't going in the cells where it belonged, so it was staying in the blood. So they're testing you like your blood glucose is so high because that glucose is supposed to be in the cell where it can't be measured in the blood, but it's not. So you're insulin resistant. Then you go to pre-diabetes. So the doctor's like, your levels are getting kind of high. You're pre-diabetic, and at that point, they literally tell you, you can change this trajectory right now.
Yeah.
You're pre-diabetic. You're heading towards diabetes. But if you change these things, exercise, sleep, change your diet, you don't have to get diabetes. You can just veer off to this side. But then, here's when the weirdness comes in. Then you actually get diabetes, which in fact is pre-diabetes one step further.
That's right.
Right? And now they're like, there's no cure for diabetes. You have to take insulin and metformin and these drug companies' drugs for the rest of your life, and you need to pay. What? Literally 3 months ago, you told me with pre-diabetes, I can change it because you can. Because you can. That's right. So even with full-blown diabetes, the studies have shown, this is not me just having an opinion. The science has shown that you can reverse, you can clean up, heal your cell, your insulin receptors. You can make your body sensitive to insulin. This can all be done so that you don't have to be on insulin shots like Mom was, or on the insulin medicine,
the metformin,
and the other brands that there are. So I found it ironic that if I'm insulin resistant, right? What is the cure? What is the medicine they give you for insulin resistance? More insulin.
Isn't it crazy?
What?
Isn't it crazy?
I'm resistant to insulin. Why would you give me more? I can't do anything with it.
And then where do you think the excess goes?
Oh my gosh. So I always thought that was so ironic. So insulin resistance.
Now you're going into fat.
And now you're going to build up. Yes, exactly. So now you got to give me something else. So something in the medicine has to also deal with your weight, because they know the insulin resistant. And it's just this cycle that makes no sense. If I'm insulin resistant, I need you to help me learn to be insulin sensitive. Don't give me more insulin. My body already has insulin. I mean, unless you're type 1. If you're type 1 diabetic, I'm not talking about that. Although type 1 diabetes still, there's fasting can still even help with that. But that's under a doctor's supervision. It's a different story. But if you're type 2 diabetic, you're insulin resistant, your body is making insulin. It's just that your receptors are not accepting it. So don't give me more insulin.
So now you got overload.
Fix what's going on. And that's fasting helps with that. And low carb eating helps with that.
Oh, absolutely. Years ago, though, folks didn't know they had diabetes.
No.
Because of the way the food was laid out for us.
Yeah.
But now you're so alert now that when a doctor says you're pre-diabetic, all you got to do is shut off the Shut off the faucet, whatever the heck you're doing, get it up, go for it, get out of there.
And today, in this day and age, there are so many alternatives that they just didn't have before.
No.
There weren't. I mean, you had to just thug it out and eat some kind of, I don't know, tasting stuff. But now there are so many alternatives where you cannot eat the sugar, cane sugar,
None of that.
high fructose corn
Fructose,
syrup
none of
and all
that.
that. You don't have to eat
Those-
all that
no.
stuff, and you can still get some good tasting stuff. So that's that. What else was I talking about? Oh, the insulin. So
yeah.
insulin. So the fasting helps you to reduce the insulin, make your body more insulin sensitive, reduce the need for insulin. So that means your body's not putting liver into the bloodstream at all when you're fasting. And so that increases your brain function because there are quite a few hormones that go on.
That's right.
When the insulin is not there. Your serotonin, which is your happy feelings. So it's like the serotonin cycle starts kicking in. So you start feeling that happy well-being. You start feeling the energy, the focus, the mental clarity, the cognitive alertness.
Yep.
All of that stuff kicks in when you are fasting. So that's a great benefit, especially if you have a lot of work to do. You can be really productive at work. Get your work done. Tell your boss, hey, if I get my work done early, can I leave? Get to fasting.
It's true. You do get
to fasting, and you can leave early.
Yeah, you will. Your work production will it will advance.
That's real.
I mean, I see it when I'm on the computer and I'm doing my thing during the day. I could be on it for hours and not even realize and get stuff done. Really,
Although that's a separate issue. Set your alarm so you can get up and stretch.
That's what I mean.
Aside from the brain, but
and
the
I was
body's
going
like,
to
leave
say
me
that,
alone.
but my phone tells me it's time.
I have enough.
I have an Aura ring, and my phone tells me it does a little beepy thing. It says it's time to get up and stretch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So another one of our benefits is saving time. And money. Saving time and money. How does fasting help us save time and money?
Well, saving time, it's if you prepare your foods really great ahead of time, you'd be amazed how you have your foods already ready. Saving time also is because you're not eating as often. You're not eating for many hours in between. Saving money is because you're not going to eat a lot because you get full fast. And so you can put that money into your good ingredients, your organic and your grass-fed finished and pasture-raised eggs, and you can get the good food.
Yeah, for sure.
So
yeah, for sure. So that's one thing. And then also I know a lot of the organic and the good quality meats, pasture raised, and the grass-fed and finished meats are more expensive than the conventional stuff.
That's right.
But the fact of the matter is those things, by the time you eat them, they're so nutrient dense that they really help you a lot. So you don't have to eat as much, which means you don't have to buy as much.
No.
So it ends up being less expensive than you think. Excuse me, I'll fix that.
Very, very, very. And it is less expensive because you, like we keep saying, you're eating less often. So you're not eating as much as you usually eat. And because you'll be spending much more because you're eating all the time. So you're going to want to buy more products. But anyway, it's just so different. It's so different.
Yeah, and you will see that it does save time and money at the end of the day, and also on health, like not having to buy medications, prescriptions.
I was going to say, what about the doctors and all
of those, and how about losing time from work because you're sick, and all of that whole ramification of being healthy.
So different.
It's expensive to be unhealthy. It really is.
It costs a lot to be sick.
Really is.
It really does.
Right.
And how sick do you want to be?
That's true. Really
you got to ask yourself that. There's your why.
Yeah,
there's another why there.
Yes.
How sick do you want to be?
So that's that. So if you want to put in the chat, what are the top 1 or 2 benefits that you are trying to get out of fasting? Top 1 or 2. Okay, so I'll share mine while we're So my top one is preventative. I'm at the age where I'm preventing things from happening. So I want to be aging healthily. I want I don't want to have chronic diseases. I don't want to have, these heart problems. I don't want to have brain, even Alzheimer's and dementia and all those things. there's a lot of research, a growing body of research that's talking about how fasting, how all that, remember we were talking all about the cognitive and how the brain is being fed and the ketones and how the brain is happy about it and all of that stuff, that translates into getting rid of autophagy, getting rid of all the senescent cells in your brain and the toxicity in your brain that's causing, you know, Alzheimer's, dementia, and things like that. So I want to get ahead of those things by being healthier now, learning how to fast for longer periods of time regularly. So there's not a year that's going to go by that I'm not going to do an extended fast at least once, if not twice.
Twice a year.
Right?
Yeah.
There's not going to be a year that goes by. And so the more that I'm able to do that, the more my body's able to get to the deeper levels of autophagy and really cleaning up all of these old
toxins. And
yes.
That's the key.
So that's my number one reason, actually.
Yeah. Plus you got toxins everywhere. You got to, I mean, you're breathing them.
Yeah.
So you want your body in good shape where it can handle that. Yeah. You know, so.
Yeah, because we live in a toxic world. So it's not like, I mean, I've heard it, I felt it. It's like, by the time I finish hearing about all the foods that aren't really good for us anymore, all the land that doesn't have good nutrients in it, all the chemicals, the genetically modified, the blah, 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 and then the pollution in the air, and now you put on your lotion and it's absorbing through your skin, kind of acetyl this or that, and by the time you finish, you just throw your hands in the air and say, you know what? I'm just going to eat and live. And when I die, I just die. I'm done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just overwhelming, right? Yeah. So that's why fasting regularly, what happens is I can't take you out of the world.
Right.
But I can make you strong enough to live within it.
Yeah.
And so the fasting is going to help with the fact that you are exposed to all these things. Do your best to reduce your exposure when you can. When you can't, that's when the body will fight the fight for you. But you can't just indulge and do all these things and then your body's going to fight the fight alone. Right? No, you can't do that. You've got to do what you can on the outside, reduce the outside toxins where you can.
That's right.
And then the body will fight with the other ones for you. And if you're fasting and you're eating well and nutrient-dense foods to really beef up your body's need for, you know, nutrients, good nutrients, the body can do a lot, y'all. It can fight off a lot.
So true.
If you fortify it.
Right, because that's what it's meant to be. That's what it's meant to do.
Yeah.
That's why we were created the way we were. We just I keep saying it, interfering.
Yes, we do. Yes, we interfere a lot. Yeah, a lot of times we don't realize we're interfering, which is why we're here. Why we spend time doing these things and talking about what we're talking about is to help people see you're interfering and you don't realize it. But once you realize it, you'll stop. So many people, once they see, they have the power to stop because they realize what's happening, what they're doing. And it's, like I said, a bit at a time, but you're going that way. Just go that way. Go.
One step at a time.
Right. Just keep walking. So
what a difference.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. So the top fasting, what was your top fasting reason? I didn't hear you.
The top fasting reason for me?
Yeah.
Oh, are you kidding me? I am honoring my temple.
Yep.
Oh no, I'm all about that now. I've gotten to that point where it's about my temple.
Yeah.
It's about honoring my father that gave me this temple.
Yep.
It's about no more crap, no more. It's done. Because when you know better, you do better.
Yes,
and you got to understand that. You can't go back.
Yeah.
I know I can't go back. I can't go back. I won't
go
back
All right.
to the way it used to be.
Exactly. So it is, there is a spiritual piece to fasting that a lot of people fast for spiritual reasons and they get the health benefits on the side. But their initial reason for fasting is to grow closer to God, to get, deal with their character and, look to hear God's voice and kind of be an obedient child of God. And so a lot of people fast for that reason. I never fast without some spiritual piece to it. I mean, it's just, that's who I am. If I'm fasting, God is in the center of that.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
frankly, eating or not eating is only reason why I can eat or not eat is because I'm alive.
That's
the only
right.
reason why I'm alive is because God saw fit to make me be
That's
alive.
right. That's
So
right.
there's everything to do with our bodies and our eating and our drinking and our thinking. Everything for me comes back to or starts with, God making us and giving us a great commission. So
And also the
that is
fasting,
definitely one.
definitely. And by fasting, it allows me to be very diligent about when it's time for me to eat,
Yeah.
what I am going to put
Right.
into this temple.
Right.
I will not, just there now, I will not put anything that is not clean in my body.
That often. Yikes. Listen, I'm going to protect my mother right now. Come here.
Ever.
I'm gonna protect my mother right now from herself. Okay. So
Ever.
don't
No,
yeah, I know
no,
she's
no.
trying to be
I'm
extra,
just being,
but
yeah. But
she's
if you
not
can
gonna
say
consciously,
ever.
she's not gonna consciously do that, and I agree, she's not gonna consciously do that. But I need to protect my mother from herself right now, okay? Because the whole I'm never gonna do this and that. Okay, things happen and life happens, and I need you guys to get that. And there's some people who are just like that. You are like, this is what it is. I'm gonna do it, and that I have no problem with that. We all have our different personalities and our different ways, but there's always this is the reason why your body is here. If you take care of it, when you do stumble, when you fall, when you give into temptation, when you just say, I don't care, I'm going to do what I want, when you're rebellious, when you're in denial, like we are people, we are not robots. We're not. And so even in our best day, in our best way, we're going to fall off somewhere. It's just what we do, right? It's what we're going to do. So what that looks like for different people is different things. So she's not going to fall off in a big way. Like she's going to walk by a box of Krispy Kreme donuts, and I assure you, she is not going to care.
Ever.
She's not going to care about that. That's not going to call her like, come here.
No.
But a bowl of pasta, on the other hand.
Oh, but it's going to be,
story.
but it's going with pea protein or lentil protein.
But if it was no pasta, you get me? If it was none.
I will have pasta.
Yeah, exactly.
But it will be clean. It'll be pea protein or lentil protein.
Exactly.
Hello.
But that's only because she came to grow to that.
That's
if they
right.
didn't have that,
but I will have that pasta.
She'd be climbing the walls.
That's
so
right.
I'm just saying. So we all have what that is, and I need you to give yourself grace, and your body will handle it. Your body will handle it. What I'm trying to encourage you to do is give your body the best chance possible.
Amen.
So start eating, low carb, one tiny bit at a time.
Yeah.
Fast. Start building those fasting muscles a bit at a time. Take your time. And there's going to be days when you're like, forget all that. And you're just going to eat all your old favorites, your loving things that makes your body feel happy. And you're going to do all those things. Yep. Everybody does.
Yep.
But as you grow and your body gets stronger and stronger, the pull is not there anymore. It's just not the same pull. The feelings are different. You're building new memories. Your body's physiology is different.
It really
is.
And
so trust me when I say whatever you're feeling right now is okay. That's what you're feeling right now. Just keep walking and keep adjusting and keep growing those fasting muscles. And bit by bit, your body starts being like, ooh, thank you for giving me that extra strength. Because then when you had that day, remember that day?
Yeah.
Your emotions were all over the place and you were just like, I need a brownie. I need 5 brownies or whatever you felt. Your body was like, I got you. Because you have me, I got you. And it can clean those things up, guys. Nothing is the end of the end.
That is true. But about the brownie,
what?
You can make a low-carb brownie.
You sure can.
And you can make it healthy and clean. There is nothing
here it comes
that you cannot tweak and make healthy and clean. Nothing.
And you know what? I'm going to agree with her on that.
Nothing.
And on one level, because
nothing.
Today there's all sorts of options. Oh my gosh, you could make so many amazing things. However, I'm going to put in this caveat.
And it's fun.
Ready? Okay.
There's the word fun.
Ready for my caveat? Here's my caveat. If you are eating standard American diet, if you eat a lot of sugar and a lot of carbs on a daily basis, it's going to be hard for you to eat what she's saying and feel satisfied about it.
Fun.
Okay. So I'm saying that to say this. Right now, I could eat a keto brownie. I can bake one with, coconut flour, almond flour, stevia, whatever. And it will taste so good to me. But if I'm eating a regular sugar brownie every day, that's what not every day, but that's what my taste buds are.
Mm-hmm.
That keto brownie is going to taste weird. It's going to feel weird on my tongue. It's going to taste strange. And I'm going to be like, yuck, why are you eating that diet
Yeah, but
stuff?
the peas did too when you were 3.
But it's going to have the diet vibe. You get what I'm saying? So I don't want you to be deceived to think, oh, I can eat keto stuff and it's going to taste the same. It's not until you change your taste buds. Then I promise you it will taste the same.
It'd be so delicious.
So that's the process.
It's like the peas when I used to give her the peas.
Yeah.
When she was a little baby. And she used to go, ugh.
Probably every baby said that.
But every baby does. But you see how they acclimate, right?
Okay, look at this. Miss Denise, I've seen some banana pudding. Okay.
Oh, we could do that.
I'm scared. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I used the banana. I used to use that.
Yeah, sure. But I'm saying this is the thing. There's ways for you to make it different. But you can't make it different if you still have the sugar addiction or the sugar taste in those, but you can't. So that's why we're saying take it a bit at a time. Don't beat up on yourself. Give yourself grace and keep walking, because as you fast a little at a time, gets longer. As you start cutting out one thing of sugar and replacing it with one other thing, bit by bit over time, you're going to find yourself all the way over here. And you're going to be laughing like, oh my gosh, remember when I heard those ladies talking about that? Now I'm eating a keto brownie. It's delicious. Or a keto ice cream sundae or whatever. So anyway, that's the thing about.
I used to make your kids the gummy bears. Oh my God. They used to eat them like crazy. And they were they're healthy. So.
You ate it last month. I'm just.
You ate it last
Denise, you're hilarious.
That's
yes,
funny.
Exactly. So there's all these. Yes. So needless to say, there is a process, but we just want you to keep walking down the healthy pathway at whatever pace you're walking. As long as you're still walking, you're going to get there, and the benefits are really going to start to outweigh any of the other things that you think. So that's that. So the next steps for fasting. So what are the next steps? You've done the intermittent fast for 5 days, and now you're thinking, okay, great. Tonight's my last night. I wake up tomorrow, and now what do I do? I mean, do I just act like I never fasted and just go back to everything business as usual?
My suggestion, do nothing. See what you will do. I don't know if you can.
You mean listen to your body and see what it's asking for now that you've taken some time?
Yeah, just don't have nothing in mind.
Yeah.
Get up in the morning
and feel it.
See what.
It's a great suggestion.
Oh my gosh.
Let your body talk to you since you've given it so much time.
That's like
this week.
That's like total control. That's like, okay, what should I do today? That's great wow.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yes, instead of saying, oh, tomorrow I'm going to get up and eat breakfast. Right. Don't decide that, because maybe your body doesn't want to eat breakfast. Maybe your body wants to chill and eat lunch.
That's right.
Or whatever.
That's right. And then you can always go into your 16-hour, your 14-hour. You already know how to do that.
Exactly.
Just see where you go.
That's a great idea.
Oh my God, I'm excited already for you.
You know why too? Is because you've reset over 5 days. You have reset your hunger hormones. You've reset those. So it's not calling you the way that it called you 5 days ago. It's very different. And a lot of your gut biome has changed, and a lot of your relationship with food, because I'm sure over the last 5 days I've heard from different people too, is that, I don't need food as much as I thought I did. It's like you feel like you need it all the time, but you don't. A lot of it is like, maybe sometimes I'm eating because I'm used to eating at that time. I'm habit eating. Or especially if you have a work schedule, and it's like at 3 o'clock I go and get a coffee and a donut or whatever. It's something you do out of habit. Some is emotional eating, and some is physiological. But people have really been seeing that by slowing down, your body's starting to tell you, hey, let's reset the way that we think about food, and let's do something different. And that's cool. So to help you with that, we have 2 things. we have an eBook, which is called Life Changes Fast. Life Changes Fast. Life Changes Fast. It's like a play on words because life changes really fast, but life changes so fast. So anyway, it's a 4-week plan for you.
I love it.
It's 4 weeks, and it's intermittent fasting to kickstart you, get you started. It'll help you to stick to it and get some benefits. This is for all levels. If you're an absolute beginner, you've never fasted before, that would be this week. We fasted. So technically, you're a faster. So if you're a beginner or you're intermediate or if you're advanced, this book has fasting plans for each level. So you can start with intermittent fasting for beginner, do it for 4 weeks. And when you finish, you can do it again, or you could go to the next level and say, now I'm going to do the intermediate fasting plan. And maybe do that once or twice, or however, it's your own pace. If you're already a faster, you can jump straight to the advanced fasting plan, and you can work on that for 4 weeks and just keep working through. So it's really, really flexible, and it lets you, wherever you're at, really get into different ways of fasting and varying fasting. So it's really a great setup. It has assessments in it. So each week, at the end of each week, you can do a little assessment to figure out, okay, what am I doing? What's going well? What's not going well? It has a post and a pre and a post assessment, so you can kind of check out a bunch of things about yourself. It's really, really a great
That's the fun part. The fun part is looking back
and seeing the difference.
Oh my goodness. It's like when you do your diary and you wait a while and you look back at it and you say, ooh, I can't even imagine I was in that frame of mind. Or
exactly. Who said that?
Was that? Oh my God. Did I really take it that seriously? Or whatever. That's what I like about it.
Exactly.
I like looking at myself back.
For sure. And so that will help with that. It's like a companion. It's like a buddy that you can walk alongside in your fasting journey.
Yeah.
So that is, we're going to send out the link for that. I'll put the link in the chat as well. But you can go ahead and purchase this ebook and get started right away. It's a downloadable. So as soon as you purchase it, you can download it and right away use it. And because you guys are so supportive in our webinars, our live webinars this week, on our podcast, as well as in our Facebook community, we are going to throw in the Food and Mood Journal with you. We're going to bundle it up for you so you can go ahead and buy that book, and then you can get the Food and Mood Journal. Which is how you're going to track your progress and learn your own body. It is a 90-day trek into you, right? So this Food and Mood Journal is uniquely designed. It's very specifically and deliberately designed to help you zoom in on your mental health, your spiritual well-being, your physical health, what you're doing, what you're eating, and how. So each day you will fill out one of your journal entries, which really asks you quite a bit about different parts of your life, from movement to glucose and ketone levels, to what you're eating, to your spiritual inspiration, a Bible scripture, maybe an inspirational quote. So it's like the whole you. It's a holistic approach.
You're going to learn a lot about the whole you.
That's true. Because it's designed to
introduce you to you.
Introduce you to yourself on a deeper level.
So really.
Every single section is very, very pertinent, and it talks to you in a different way. The other thing about this is you don't have to fill out every section every day, because you're not a robot. Every day you're feeling different, and something's going to, you're going to dig into one section a little deeper one day than another day, and something's going to feed your soul differently than this day, and all of that. And that's why the weekly assessments are so important, because you can look back at the week and go, hey, what's going on with me? What is it that I'm thinking? What is my relationship with food and my own peace of mind and my own mental health? And so it's a really amazing journal that you can also have with this package. So it's a bundle for you, both of them, the ebook and the Food and Mood Journal together for $25 for both of them, because you are who you are. So it's a special deal. It will only be running till Christmas. So go ahead and take advantage of that. We will also put the link in the email. We'll send out emails to you,
Yes.
follow-up emails from the webinar, and we'll go ahead and we'll put the link in there as well. But I will also put the link in the chat for you in a moment. So that's what we have for you for today. What else do you want to talk about, Mom? Anything else?
Nothing. Just learn about yourself. Be excited about what you're going to learn. Be excited that you're excited that you're excited.
Be excited that you're excited? Wait, what?
That you're excited. Because you're going to learn things about you that you just never would have taken time to do. You just wouldn't. You're so busy taking time for everybody else. If you're a guy, you're taking care of your family, you're taking care of your kids, or if you don't,
or yourself,
or yourself because you're whatever.
And you're my son.
You know, if you're a mom, you know what you're doing. You know, there's no doubt about what you're doing. If you're a single young lady, you know, you got life, you got work, it just is so amazing how you're going to actually sit down and give yourself a few minutes to learn about who you are.
I mean, for real, that's true.
Oh, and who you can be. So, and it's always a blessing when you can be better.
Yeah,
you know, because you know,
so you can do those things.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. I think it's exciting.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's exciting,
and we hope we can help you on that journey with these materials, so that can help you to get what you need.
Actually, I think it's fun.
So let me get this in the chat.
I'm sorry. It's about fun.
The link, I'm putting the link in the chat for the...
Oh, right. For the book.
The book bundle special.
Yeah.
And here it is.
There it is. Yay.
Boom. All right. So the link is in the chat. So if you want to go ahead and follow that link, copy that link, or whatever you want to do. Otherwise, you can go to therealhealthyyou.com and we're going to be able to, actually you can't because it's a special. So nobody else can see it but you.
That's right.
So you have to have an invite, and that's the invite is the link. So you will get the invite here. You'll also get the invite on the email. So we'll send several follow-up emails over the next maybe 3 to 4 days.
Yes.
And you'll have a couple opportunities with that link, so that you can go ahead and get these and you can carry on your fasting success. Yes.
Taking back your temple.
Taking back your temple. So let's see. Anything else? I think our Facebook group, feel free to jump on there and ask questions, encourage your other healthy temples along their journey.
Yes.
Also, info@therealhealthyyou.com is our email. If you want to email us, you know, not in the group, but you just want to email us yourselves, you can do that. I just wanted to show you my earrings.
What is that?
How about this? Ready?
What is it?
They're little cassette tapes. Hold on.
Cassettes. Oh my God!
Cool
Look at them. The cassette.
They're little cassette tapes because I'm from that day and age.
Can you hear them? Can you? Is there something wonderful on them?
No.
Well,
they are what they are. But there you go. So voom. Read them and weep.
Oh,
anyway,
that's cute.
So that's all we got for you tonight, and we thank you all for coming. It's so amazing to get to spend a whole week with you guys. So hopefully we'll do it again soon. But in the meantime, check into the Real Healthy You podcast and hear all sorts of good health information.
That's right.
All right. Well, we're out. Any other questions? Let me check and make sure nobody was asking me anything that I didn't see. No, I think we are good. So have a lovely Friday night. Enjoy your weekend. And Christmas is coming up and holidays.
Merry Christmas.
And happy holidays.
And happy
Hanukkah,
New Year.
Kwanzaa, all the different
things
that you celebrate. Enjoy.
Yes,
and
enjoy.
Yes, and we will hear from you soon as we
take
our
temples back.
Bye.
Go get it.
Have a great night, guys.
Bye.